Every spring for thousands of years, the Sandhill Cranes have made a stop in the Platte River Valley in central Nebraska. Since 2009, I have been making my own journey out to central Nebraska to witness this amazing migration. This is the story of my 2018 trip to see the Sandhill Cranes. Well, here I am inside photo blind number 2 at the Rose Sanctuary. If you've been here before and you're familiar with the area, I am west of the visitor center. There's 2 blinds, this one and then one about 100 yards or so even further west. That's number 1, this is number 2, and then the other 2 overnight photo blinds are way down the east end. And then between here and the visitor center there are 2 of the group blinds that people go in for just the evening or just the morning, and they don't stay overnight. So I picked this blind up pretty late in the reservation season. I was kind of looking at Rose's website, and I saw that they had an opening for here in the 3rd of April. If you've been out here to see the cranes before, you know we're really close to the end of the season, but in Nebraska we've had such a strange winter that there's still a ton of birds here. I kind of drove around a little bit before I got to the sanctuary, and a lot of birds in the fields today. So I'm very hopeful. We have a good night here. I also talked to a volunteer brought me out here, and he said that there's still tons of them landing right in front of the river here. So as far as the weather goes, it's a beautiful sunny day if you have the windows closed. But if you look out, if you go outside, it's really cold and really windy. I think it's 32 degrees right now. It's supposed to get down to about 19 tonight, and the wind is just howling right now. But I kind of think for the temperature to drop that low, it should calm down quite a bit. So looking forward to the first night here in the overnight line, and hopefully the birds are real close and get some great pictures and just have an all-around great evening. Alright, well, it's about 6:40, and sometime within the next hour the birds should be coming back to the river. They've spent all day out in the fields eating. Now they're starting to move closer to the river. They're in some kind of the wet meadows, the grasslands along the river. I can hear them flying around, and then eventually, once it gets a little closer to sunset, they'll all just come onto the river. It's kind of neat. They kind of play follow the leader. Wherever the first one lands, they'll all start landing around him. So if the first one lands in front of you, next thing you know, there's a whole flock in front of you. Sometimes they land up the river, but they'll eventually work their way back to you. Birds spend the night on the river as protection from predators. Out there, if they're out in the water and there's a coyote walking towards them, they can hear the coyote splashing, and it kind of gives them a little warning so they can fly away. The birds are here in Nebraska. They spend all day in the field eating. They spend about 2 to 3 weeks here. They gain their body weight, finish the migration. They're coming from down around the Gulf of Mexico, Florida, Texas, then over into New Mexico, Arizona, and even down into Mexico. And then they're going to come through Nebraska, kind of an hourglass shape, funnel through Nebraska, and then on up into Canada and Siberia and Alaska, and some of the northern parts of the United States too. So I'm just waiting here for a little closer to sunset. Sometime in the next hour, we should start seeing birds hit the river. Still kind of windy out, but the temperature's really not too bad. I have the windows open. I'm kind of getting some of the sunlight, and it's staying pretty warm. So just hope before the birds come, the wind dies down a little bit, because I need to open both of these front windows to be able to take pictures better. But if it doesn't happen, I'll just keep bundling up more layers and enjoy the evening.
I was unable to record any more audio from myself that night. The wind was just too strong, making too much noise, and with the birds in the area, I had to be quiet. However, as expected, the birds came right about sunset, first congregating in large groups flying around the river, and then starting to land first upstream from me and then right in front of my blind. It was an amazing experience I will never forget. Here are some of the sights and sounds from that evening. As the sun faded, I bundled up and headed to bed. I could not wait to see what the morning was going to bring. Well, that concludes day 1. Stay tuned as I will be releasing the videos for days 2 and 3 in the very near future. I still can't believe what happened on day 3.